Alright guys, hopefully the stream is going to be working here. I'll double check here as I go. Tonight I've decided to do something that's going to be really fun for me. I'm going to try to beat Super Mario Kart on 100cc. And basically I have, like downloaded the game on Virtual Console. I played it a little bit when I first got it. I think I beat the 50cc cups. So tonight I'm going to try to play all of the 100cc cups. So Mushroom, Flower, Star, and Special. I think this was the second Super Nintendo game that I ever had. And it is definitely a childhood favorite. Lots of great memories. Honestly, to this day, still one of my favorite racing games. And this is my favorite version of Super Mario Kart, actually. The Super Nintendo, the very first one, is one of my favorites. So, tonight, let's see how far I can get. Okay. I'm going to go with Luigi for right now. And even though I've already beaten the Mushroom Cup, looks like I'm going to go ahead and play it again just because I want the stream to have all of the races in it. Once I start getting up into the Flower, Star, and Special, I'll probably have some difficulties. Hopefully I won't have too many problems with the Mushroom Cup. But this is, I haven't played the game in a long time, and, it's actually not the easiest game in the world. Oops, I actually don't really remember how to control everything. But yeah, it's not the easiest game in the world. Some of the mechanics are a little different in this game than the other Super Mario Karts. But, for anybody who's my age or a little bit older, this is definitely one of the biggest games ever released on the Super Nintendo. So, as a quick breakdown, as you can see, I'm being followed by Yoshi. He's throwing his eggs at me. If I run into them, it'll knock me out, like if it were a banana peel or something like that. So there's not a ton of variety in this game, or not quite as much variety in this game in terms of the projectiles and the weapons that people use to throw. Like if you run into something, you're pretty much just going to wipe out. And I think they got rid of coins in the later games, but okay, good. So, just to explain real quick, there were 8 characters in this game, and basically, like, the top and bottom of each selection, they were basically identical. Mario and Luigi were identical. Princess and Yoshi were identical. Bowser and Donkey Kong Jr. were identical. And then Toad and Koopa Troopa were identical. And each group has certain strengths and weaknesses. Luigi and Mario are the second fastest top speed, but the second worst acceleration. And they're a little bit slippier than some of the other characters. So depending on which one I'm going for, like since this is only Mushroom Cup, I feel pretty comfortable playing one of the faster characters. But later on, when it gets more difficult, I'll probably need to be playing Toad or Koopa Troopa or something like that. Also in this game, the coins are a mechanic. If you're at 0 and you get hit, even like if you run into somebody, you'll spin out a little bit. And if you have 10 coins, you go at your maximum speed. So it's really important to stay above 10 at all times. Every time you run into somebody or get hit by an item, you lose coins. Also, there's 5 laps in this game, as opposed to, I believe there were only 3 in the Nintendo 64 version and the GameCube version. And I haven't played too much Mario Kart since then. As you can see, I'm lapping Toad here. But another interesting thing is that depending on who you play as, you'll have a different enemy who is like constantly in second place. So Yoshi is the designated guy for being second when you play as Luigi. Alright, so far so good. 2 stages down. 2 first place finishes. Also love the variety. I thought it was really cool how they took, you know, boards from like Super Mario World and turned them into racetrack versions. I always thought that was really unique and cool. And like each one definitely has its own like special qualities and mechanics. This one you don't suffer quite as much as some of the future ones. You still can fall off, but like knocking into the wall and knocking out pieces and then falling off, it's pretty difficult, especially later on. Ooh, how did I get a red shell in first place? Well, I'm so far ahead, I don't think it's gonna matter. Unless I just make a terrible mistake. Like that. Music in this game is great as well. Every board has its own sort of ambiance. Okay. Yoshi hit his own thing, but if you look down at the mini-map, he's going to catch up super fast. Because in this game, they will give, like, basically warp speed to the guy who's supposed to catch you. But actually, oddly enough, he didn't get enough to catch back up with me. So I actually just got really lucky in that it would be really hard for me not to win the cup now because Yoshi only got 3rd there. So he's 12 whole points behind me. I could get 2nd place. I think I could actually get 3rd place in the next 2 races in a row and still win it. Back up just a little bit here. It's like a little bit more on the screen. Alright, very good. So, if anybody's never seen that before, which I'm sure just about anybody who will be watching this would have played this game before, those guys on the first round, they don't come down. But on the second round, they do. If you run into them, you know, you'll get stopped, and then if they pound on you, you'll actually turn flat and get stuck in place for a short time. So it's really bad when you get hit by those guys. They're relatively easy to avoid in this level, but in future levels, turning is a lot more crazy. They get put in opportune spots. It's pretty tough. I want to say it's Bowser Castle number 3. I have really bad memories of that one. I think that was in Star Cup. I think I've lost on that one numerous times. So far, so good here. Oops. I'm going to use my mushroom here so I can get back up to top speed here. Looks like I just knocked Donkey Kong. Oh. Thought I knocked him into the lava there. And there we go. One more race to go. We're good with Mushroom Cup. Alright. So basically, in this game, if you finish 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th in a race, then you get either 9, 6, 3, or 1 point. And but as long as you finish in the top 4, which is the top half, then you get to move on to the next race. So at this point, I'm so far ahead in the points, even if I got 4th place, I'd still win. So really, as long as I get 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, then this cup is over. One of my favorite things as a kid would be to get a mushroom on on this board, and then use it to do like a super fast jump over those right there on the right. Coming up here in a minute, if you hit a mushroom up here, you can actually go super fast and jump really high, clear all the way to the starting line. I tried to slow down so I can maybe have a better chance of getting a better weapon. Cool thing about this game is not only do I find the music appealing, like the like the tune. Oh, thank you, Mario. I find the sounds really appealing as well. Like the sounds that they selected to use for the music, I think it really fits the game. Off to a good start. Alright, perfect run there. And really cool victory scene here. We got all good guys on the podium. Luigi, Yoshi, and Mario. Alright, 100cc Mushroom Cup race. Luigi wins the gold. Great race. Alright, let's keep going. Since I did so well on that one, I think I'm going to use Luigi again. Let's try to get the flower cup. Here we got Choco Mountain, I think, or whatever it's called. Choco Island, which is, I think, World 6. Whoops, I think this is World 6. And, Super Mario World. And ironically, it's the 6th race in this game. I wonder if they did that on purpose. So as you can see on this board, they put in mud, little mud patches and whatnot. Little piranha plants on the side. If you run into those, you get hurt. I probably made a mistake putting that banana peel down back there. A lot of times, like, if I'm in the lead, I don't even put down my banana peel or shell because usually the enemies won't run into it, and I'm basically just putting myself at risk. So, I think I'm just going to hold on to this one. You can throw them forward as well, but still there's no point doing that right now because I'm leading the race. Alright, so this time I'll put it down just because this is the last lap. It's not going to matter. And let's see if Mario's got enough oomph to get ahead of Yoshi here. If he does, which it looks like he does, I'm probably going to have to fight against him the rest of the match, simply because since this is the first race of the cup, whoever is in second place will take over as the primary enemy. So from now on, Mario is going to be fighting against me. And that can be good or bad. He doesn't have any projectiles, but he can turn on a star and run into you. So sometimes playing against Mario can be good, sometimes it can be bad. The further ahead you are, the less risk you have to take, so it's kind of one of those slow and steady wins the race type of things once you get in the lead. there's no real reason for me to risk getting knocked off to go for that speed boost. Mario hasn't quite caught me yet, so. Very good. Alright. And that's going to take down the first race. Cool. Alright. Looks like we got Donut Plains number 2. I gave it the gun a little too early there. That can be a little dangerous on these harder levels because you start off with very few coins, and if you start in the pack, you run into a lot of people. And plus, there's less coins than previous boards, and they're actually a little harder to hit. So. Alright, there you go. You can see Mario using a star. Now, luckily, he doesn't speed up, I don't think, when he uses this star. Like the normal star in the game, if you get it, you not only can knock people off, but you can go like significantly faster. So that'd be pretty imba if he could do that. So I think they just made it to where he can just harm you. But the flip side is you can't hit him when he's in star mode either. So that red shell that I've got sitting there, he's actually kind of immune to it if he's using his inherent ability. I didn't mean for that to quite happen like that. I'm not taking any risks there. If I had waited for that, I might could have set it up better for Yoshi to beat him, but it looks like Yoshi still might beat him anyway. And that helped me huge because now I think, that was the third race? I want to say that was the third race. Yes, so basically I just made Mario take minimal points there, which will now allow me, I see I'm 12 points ahead, so I could lose. I could probably finish third twice and still win. Okay, so this one is not super easy, this Bowser's Castle number 2, but it's not nearly as bad as the third one. So, the main goal is basically just to finish and move on to the last race. Preferably to get second or third. If I got second or third, I'd be sitting really pretty for the last one. Oh, looks like those guys got stuck back there. That's good timing for me. Looks like Mario's closing in on me here. So I did not mean for that now. Alright, so far so good. I also think it's cool how thematically they sort of reference the Super Mario Bros. Series by whenever you're near the end on the last lap, they make the music go way faster, just like in the original game. Basically every other Mario game with a timer, so I think that's kind of neat. And it looks like we're taking this one down. So now we just got to finish 4th place in the last race, and we will win the Flower Cup. Alright, Super Mario Circuit 3. Ooh. Wait for that to happen. This is the one I hate, this turn right here. So far, so good. I thought that would for sure hit it right there. I'm gonna have to watch out for that on my 4th and 5th laps. Well, didn't do too hot right there, but that's okay. Ooh, man. Looks like Yoshi hit my shell back there. We're just gonna go for the sand right here. Oh, he got me. Oh, I was actually in jeopardy of not finishing right there. I got lucky. That was a bad time to wipe out. But I was so far ahead, it's not really going to matter, so I'll still win the cup, and we can move on to the Star Cup. Same 3 people, just a different order this time, since Mario was the main villain that time. Alright, let's get back to it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's play Luigi again. Between Mario and Luigi, I always liked to be Luigi because it just felt like Mario was always the main character and Luigi never really had his chance much. So whenever I could, in like Mario 2 for example, on regular Nintendo, I would play as him. Not just for his higher jump, but just because I thought it was cool to play somebody other than Mario. So if Mario and Luigi are the same in this game, I usually chose Luigi, just because I never got to play it much in games, and also because I like the color green a lot. And I actually dressed as Luigi one year for Halloween. My band in college, we used to do themed shows for Halloween. And one year we all dressed up as Mario characters. So the other guitar player was a little bit shorter than me, so he dressed up like Mario and I dressed up like Luigi. It was a lot of fun. Well, I hate to do that. I'm going to make Mario the villain again, but it was the only way I could guarantee myself to get first there. All right. So now this is bad. This game is a whole lot easier, in my opinion, when you're racing from up front and not having to deal with everybody. Even though you do get better weapons the further behind you are, typically, I just find that it's much easier when you're already ahead to kind of stay up front. So I'm going to use the mushroom there so it won't hold me back on the mud. Try to put myself up in a position to stay near the front for the rest of the race. This is where Mario's ability can get very annoying. Oh, so annoying. Yoshi gave me a big push there. Cupid did there as well. Get really lucky. I've actually screwed up pretty majorly twice now. The fact that I'm still in this is pretty amazing. Alright, let's see if I can hold this down for the rest of the race. Oh gosh, I got stuck. Okay. At this point, I really need to focus on trying to get second at least. I don't think I can catch Mario. Okay, I'll take second though. That'll still put us at a tie moving into the third race. Much better start this time. I think this is the first Vanilla Lake, I think is what it's called. And I think the Vanilla Dome in Super Mario World was like World 3. But I think there were several ice levels in there, so this would fit. Honing down on me here. Alright, so far so good. Just gotta hold it in for one more round here. Alright, very good. Oh, this one right here is the bane of my existence. And if I don't do well on it here, starting out up front, I'm going to be forced to start from the back, which is going to make it even more difficult. This is not one where you want to get stuck behind at the beginning. Well, I totally screwed that up. Okay, so far so good. Now if I can just manipulate the actual race, probably won't have to deal too much with other characters. I can't believe I did that twice in a row now. Alright, that was a good shot with the green shell, which by the way, that one only goes straight. So, I figured I better take the shot while I had it. Whoa! That's not good. So here, obviously the person I care the most about is Mario, because he and I have the same score. So I actually wouldn't care if Bowser finished second, but I need to save this red shell to make sure. I actually wouldn't even really care if Bowser finished first and I finished second. The main thing is that I finished in front of Mario. Alright, there we go. I finally did that correctly. So now we got 2 laps left, I believe. Oh, this is the last lap. Alright, this is not good. I'm going to take a risk here. Oh, I missed. Okay. Oh, I did really bad. And now I need to finish 5th. Because even if I could have, I would have let Koopa beat me. Because finishing in 4th with Mario in 1st would have put me 8 points behind, which I literally could not have made up if he finished 2nd every race. So, and now you can see why I've been doing pretty good, and then this race begins and I totally blow it. This is one of my hardest courses in the game. Surely that show hit somebody. Yeah, it looks like we got towed. I'm actually going to throw this off to the side. I don't want to hit it. I don't think any computers will hit it, so. Yeah, that was better. Okay. I'm not doing great, but I'm not completely out of it yet. That was really bad. Okay. At this point, I guess I'm starting to feel the need to take some risks. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. This is a really poor run this time. I'm gonna need some item help for sure. Alright, that's a good start. Oh, I didn't think about that. Crap, I should have waited. Okay, the only shot I got is if I get a lightning bolt here. Which I did not get. Oh, and I got no help there either. Alright, so at this point, I guess I'm just trying to finish as high as I can so that I can retry the board. Man. Oh, I call Peach. Hey, some Mario Kart action tonight. Very nice. Hello, I call Peach. I am very sorry that you happen to have come in during my worst performance so far tonight. I've actually won the Mushroom Cup and the Flower Cup, but on my first attempt here at the Star Cup, I mentioned it even 20 minutes ago that this particular board is when I really start struggling, and I've already finished out of placing twice in a row. So you are catching me at my most struggling moment. But welcome to the stream. Glad you could stop by for a minute. So this is Super Mario Kart, as you already know. I don't know how much you played this as a kid, or if you maybe played the sequel, Super Mario Kart 64. But this was actually the second Super Nintendo game I ever had. And I spent a ton of time playing this as a kid. Me and my sister used to play it all the time, so definitely one of my favorites. So far, so good on this lap. Oh, I hate being in close quarters with Mario. I really love to win this race, but at the same time, I would actually probably take second and be not super upset about it. That first turn right there is actually one of the harder parts of this stage. Now I gotta get a weapon. Alright, the mushroom is actually a really good one to have. If I can just not make a huge error right here. Got it! Alright. Let's see, I call Peach. I think I just bring bad luck. Haha, no, you don't. I've never actually played this. It was always 64 for me. Oh, cool. This game is excellent. If you ever, I think if you have a Super Nintendo or if you ever get a chance to play one, this game is definitely worth playing. It's a ton of fun. It says, are the characters in this version pretty similar to the SNES, excuse me, to the ones on the Nintendo 64? Like, do they have the same feel when you drive them? Okay. No, they do not. And it's actually a bit complicated. So let me take a swig here, and then I'll start the next race and start explaining it to you. Okay, so luckily I'm 6 points ahead going into the final race here. So all I need to do is finish in third place, and I will win the cup. Okay, so real quick, let me try to explain this as best I can. In the Nintendo 64 version of Super Mario Kart, there were actually only 3 categories of characters. There was Mario and Luigi, and they were what I would call the in-between characters. And then there were 3 each of the other characters. The big characters were Wario, Bowser, and Donkey Kong. And then the light characters were Toad, Princess Peach. Ooh, I got a star. I'm gonna hold on to that. And I'm trying to think, who replaced Koopa Troopa? Somebody replaced Koopa Troopa. Like, Koopa Troopa is in this one, but he's not in the 64 version. Who took his place? Yoshi? No. I'm sorry, Wario took his place, but they made Wario a big character. So, Yoshi, Princess Peach, and Toad were the light characters. So there were basically only 3 categories. And weirdly enough, I want to say that Donkey Kong, Wario, and Bowser, the heavy characters, actually controlled the easiest, but were the slowest. But Toad, Peach, and Yoshi were the fastest, but controlled the toughest, and then Mario and Luigi were in between. So real quick, before I explain Mario Kart on Super Nintendo, type at me and tell me if you think that's correct, if you remember it being kind of like that. And if not, then tell me what you remember, because I could be misremembering. And I did not want to use that there, but but I also don't want to lose the acceleration time, and I really just want to finish third here, so I don't want to put myself in a position to lose. Alright, I think I got it. Cool. That sounds very accurate. Okay, cool. So in this game, it's totally different. In fact, let me show you real quick. I just won, so we're going to get to see the winning scene, which, by the way, I think that the winning scene in this game is like super iconic, and I actually like it over the one in Mario Kart 64. But when we're done, I'll go to this character select screen and show it to you and kind of explain how it works. So I'll let you enjoy this real quick. Alright, so that opens up a special cup. So 100cc. Alright, now, let me explain real quick. In this game, there are 4 different categories instead of 3. And they're all just on top of each other. So Mario and Luigi are exactly the same. Princess and Yoshi are exactly the same. Bowser and Donkey Kong Jr. are exactly the same. See, here's another interesting tidbit. This is Donkey Kong Jr. You can tell because he's wearing the, sweatshirt, wife beater thing, whatever you want to call it. But in the Nintendo 64 version, Donkey Kong Country had become popular, so they made him just Donkey Kong, which is, I guess, Donkey Kong Jr.'s son, whatever. And then the final category is Koopa Troopa, who is not in Mario Kart 64, which was sad to me because I loved Koopa Troopa. And then Toad. Alright, so Toad and Koopa Troopa are the same. So basically, there are 3 categories in this game for the characters. Top speed, acceleration, which is like how quickly you can get to your top speed, and then control. And every character, some have advantages and disadvantages, but they're all totally unique. For example, Toad and Koopa Troopa are the slowest characters in the whole game. Oddly, remember in the 64 version, Toad was one of the fastest characters. So Toad and Koopa Troopa are the slowest. Their acceleration is second best, but their handling, their control is the best in the game. Next, in terms of top speed, Yoshi and Princess are the second slowest. Their acceleration is first in the game, so they've got the best acceleration, but they're actually pretty slippy. Like, probably second in slippiness, but still pretty slippy, okay? These guys are great for battle mode, because in battle mode, when you get hit or when you run into walls, you want to be able to start back fast. The second fastest group is Mario and Luigi. Their acceleration is second worst, though, and their slippiness is also second worst, but they can make up for it by their top speed being pretty good. Or it might even be that their control is second best. I can't quite remember. But Bowser and Donkey Kong Jr. are interesting in that, number one, they have the fastest top speed, but they have the worst acceleration and the slippiest control. So basically, they were kind of considered the pro characters. Like if you didn't make a lot of mistakes, you could play them and be really good. But if you made errors, it would be impossible to overcome. And I always liked the fact that Bowser opened his mouth there. So in other words, in this game, if you liked Princess or Luigi, you would probably like Luigi or I don't know, it just depends. You might still like Princess or Luigi in this game. It says, and I also played the other version after that had Waluigi, yeah, and Princess Daisy. Yeah, I think that was the one on GameCube. That was Double Dash, where you had 2 characters. So I just gave you more information than you ever wanted to know about these characters. But when I get to the really hardest stages, usually I play the slowest guys, but that's because they control the best. In fact, I think I'm just going to go ahead and get Koopa Troopa now. Special Cup race is the hardest one. And technically, there's a 150cc race after this that's incredibly difficult. But for tonight, my goal was just to beat all the 100cc races. So far, I haven't had to retry anything. But these races are incredibly difficult. So, even though I spun out there, my acceleration is second best, so it wasn't too bad. And you can tell that he's got super tight controls, and you're gonna need them for these boards. Like, basically, I'm not good enough to get through these boards with like a slippy character. So I'm just gonna have to kind of fight my way up, maybe about one place at a time, each lap using weapons. But that's okay. As you can see, these boards are like super hard. Alright, I'm just gonna go and use my star so I can not lose too much time here. Alright, so far so good. It looks like I'm gonna be fighting against Luigi. In this particular game, 64 was a little different. In this particular game, usually only one character would be your main rival, and they would get first or second place just about every time. So I'm gonna be competing against mostly Luigi. That's my main rival. And even though I hit him there, he's going to catch up, especially since we have 2 laps to go. The computer still recognizes him as the most dominant player as my rival, and will give him super speed to catch up. In fact, you can see, I think he already caught me. Okay. So as you can see, these bridges are really difficult. That's part of what makes this board so hard, and it's only the first board of this cup. Alright, off to a good start. Also laugh at his wind music. It's just so slow and dopey. And I love this little post-race visual. The 4 people that got points are rolling, and the 4 people that finished worse are spinning out. I think it's funny. So real quick, I call Peach, did you like racing more, or did you like racing more? Excuse me, did you like racing more, or did you like battling more? I really like racing in the Grand Prix where you like go against the other characters, but I also really enjoyed battling because me and my sister used to battle all the time, and this was actually like one of the first games that I could consistently beat my older brothers in, and that usually made them pretty upset, so I enjoyed that. So this is Koopa Beach. I call Peach. One thing that you probably missed from the beginning of the stream is I was talking about how one thing I really like about this game is they've really kept the Super Mario World theme together, because this game, you know, was released a few years into the SNES, and Super Mario World was the most successful Super Nintendo game. So all of these games, or excuse me, all these boards are basically patterned off of certain things in Super Mario World. This is called Koopa Beach. I don't exactly remember there being a specific world like this, but at the same time, like, you know, it's kind of patterned off the idea of a water level, which you see in all Mario games. Oh, I can't believe you bumped me at the last second. But there's a Bowser's Castle. There's Choco Island. There's a Vanilla Lake, which is kind of like the Vanilla Dome. Let me see what else is there. Oh, there's even the ghost boards. I think there's a ghost board coming up right here. Yeah, so this is patterned off the ghost houses as well. So you got the booze up top here. Pretty cool visuals in the game. The unique thing about this one is you can fall off the sides on a lot of places, and the walls that do exist, if you hit them, they'll go away. So you have to be really careful where you run into, because if you break a wall but then hit it the next time, you will fall right through. So this is one of those boards where it's easy to make one mistake and then just kind of basically lose the whole race. Like that right there. Ooh, got lucky. Also, coins is a mechanic in this game that I don't think is in Super Mario 64 or Super Mario Kart 64. If you have 10 or more, oh crap. If you have 10 or more, you can go at your maximum speed. But if you're less than that, you go a little bit slower. And every time you run into somebody or get hit by a weapon, you lose coins. And if you're down to 0 and you run into somebody, you'll actually spin out a little bit. So it makes the game different. You actually have to try to collect the coins. I don't recall that being in Mario Kart 64. Oh boy. Now we'll get to your comment in just 1 second. I hate it when I lap somebody because then they start attacking you. It's kind of unfair. Alright, looks like I got this one on lockdown. And oh, looks like Luigi got hit by something. That's actually a big win for me. The fact that he ran into something back there means that I actually gained 6 points on him right there. Let's see, racing hands down. I suck at battling and get pretty jumpy when I battle. That's funny. The battling in Mario Kart 64 had a 3D element to it. There's no 3D element to this game. I actually think the battling in this game is the best. It's just my personal opinion. The boards are really cool. So here's Vanilla Lake. But the boards are really cool, and the music is excellent. In fact, here in a little while, if I can end up beating this, I might go set up a battle just to hear the music. So good. This one can be tricky because if you don't do your jumps properly, you end up in the water. That'll take up a lot of time. It's kind of one of those slow and steady wins the race type of deals here. It's actually a pretty short track. Alright, one more. Let's see if we can avoid a major mistake here. Feeling pretty good. Looks like we got it. Alright. Looks like Luigi got hit again. That's really surprising. That normally doesn't happen. So which of the Mario Karts is your favorite, or do you feel like it's apples and oranges and you can't compare? Great question. To a degree, it is kind of like apples and oranges because they're really like, I know they're sort of, the idea is the same, but really they're a lot different in the way that they play and feel, and just, you know, because each one is on a different system, so like there's upgrades and more capability about the system. But if I were to only have like one to play, I'd probably choose this one because it's probably the one I've played the most. This was the second Super Nintendo game I ever had. And I just played a ton of it. And I have so many great memories as a kid. Like, my nostalgia for this game is much deeper than the other games. My sister and I played this game just a ton. I distinctly remember even the first time that I rented it. And all the things that happened that weekend. So yeah, probably this one. Although Mario Kart 64 does hold a very, very special place in my heart because it was the first game I had on the Nintendo 64. The Nintendo 64 was the first Nintendo console that didn't come with a game included, and I wanted to get Mario Kart 64 because it was one of my favorite games on Super Nintendo. So I bought a Nintendo 64 and Mario Kart 64 and played it a lot. So those two are definitely my favorites. Alan, hey man, nice. I always played with Koopa Troopa too. Yeah man, I just started using him on the Special Cup. So basically, you're just in time to see me play Rainbow Road. So it sounds like, Alan, sounds like you're familiar with Super Mario Kart. I Call Peach, you are not. So this is, or at least not as much. I think you said you played the 64 version. So this is Rainbow Road. The original Rainbow Road, in my opinion, is like the hardest board in any Mario Kart. So luckily, I'm actually so far ahead that all I have to do is place 4th place and I will win the cup. But as you can see, there's not a single boundary on this whole thing, and the visuals are really appealing, and the music's cool too. So basically, you fall off anywhere you make a mistake on this one. And I remember the first time that I played it, I was just like, oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. Luckily, I was in 1st place and sped off, so I'm way ahead of everybody. When you start trying to contend with people and they're knocking you around, it gets really difficult. Also, these guys are different. The little pounder guys are different on this board. They're like electric, and so if you run into them, you'll still spin out. So in the other boards, you can kind of run into them as long as you don't get pounded by them, and it doesn't hurt you too bad. Here, they will legitimately spin you out. And one thing I said early in the stream, I think before anybody got here, was the music in Super Mario Kart is so great, but not just the music. I really think that the sounds that they've selected are perfect for the game. You know, it's a cartoony, you know, just fun game. It's not serious racing or anything like that. It's not like a serious car game, so I kind of feel like the very just fun, bright poppy sounds for the Super Nintendo work great. So far we're doing pretty good here. Ooh, okay. One more. And that's what I was talking about. And just like that, I'm in the thick of characters vying for 1st place, which is bad because if I get knocked down, I might not finish at 4th. Alright, that got it. Alright. GG. So that's all the 100cc cups. And once again, Koopa Troopa's slow, kind of dopey music. So Alan, real quick, I was discussing this earlier, you know, every character from this game made it into Mario Kart 64, except for Koopa Troopa, which really upset me back then. Were you bummed about that as well? I think he knocks the bottles together. There he goes. So since I beat 100cc, I think... Excellent driving, you are now a Super Mario Kart expert. I don't know if they give you the ending yet or not. Let's find out. Yeah, okay. Technically, this isn't the end of the game. There's still 150cc to go, which is actually incredibly difficult. But this is the ending credits, which is really cool. And so I'm just going to be quiet for a minute and kind of let you enjoy it. But I really like the last scene. Here we go. Here's the cool part. There's all the characters. And they jump. So I can't remember if I have to reset it or what. Congrats on your Shovel Knight and Mario runs. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, my Shovel Knight run ended up being actually a lot better than I thought it would be. Let me reset and see if it still gave me the 150cc. Alright, it did. So now I can play 150cc, which is going to be really difficult. But, yeah, man, the Shovel Knight run ended up being a lot better than I thought it would be, and I'm actually thinking I might try to study it a bit more and try to speed run it to get it down to, like, first maybe 75 minutes, then maybe 70. The super really good guys out there can beat the game in, like, 48 minutes, something like that, 50 minutes. I don't think I'd ever be able to do that, but I might, if I really practice, could get it down to somewhere around an hour, and that would be a really big feat, so I might attempt that eventually. Well, I guess that ended up being what we wanted it to be. I think I'll do one more. I think I'll do 150cc. I'm going to play Luigi this time. I'm going to do 150cc Mushroom Cup race just to see if I can win it. But these races are actually significantly harder. And then after this, I will probably shut down the stream and just kind of goof off for a little while. But yeah, Alan, I think that you were referring to the Pacifist Mario runs, and I appreciate that, man. That was really fun to do. I still have some work to do on that one, too. It's actually a lot trickier than I thought it would be when I first started messing with it. So as you can see, this is the very, very first track, and on 150cc, they're just all over you the whole time. So it's really hard to get significantly ahead on 150cc. Like, this would never be happening in 50 or 100. Whoops. And now, I might be so far behind that I cannot catch up. Well, I messed that up. Wow, there you go. Third place on the first race. Pretty bad. Let's see. I call Peach. Enjoyed watching. I'll have to play someday so I can have experienced all the Mario Karts. Yeah, definitely. Thanks for stopping by. And yeah, you should definitely play Super Mario Kart someday. This is a super classic game. I mean, you know, kind of the first of its kind. I mean, like, not only just the first Super Mario Kart, but just the kind of game that this is, using the little items to shoot things, stuff like that. It's kind of the first game that's significantly like this that I remember playing. But thank you for stopping by, Cole Peach. Have a great night. And see you next time. Let's see. Alan says, most of my Mario Kart experience was the Mario Kart 64. In that version, I played Toad exclusively for some reason. Don't remember why. Well, we were actually talking about that earlier. Toad and Yoshi and Princess, I think, were the fastest characters in that game, which is opposite from this game. And, you know, I think, if I recall correctly, I played Toad as well a good bit because I usually didn't play Princess, and for some reason I liked Toad better than Yoshi. I think some of that went back to the original Mario Brothers 2 on regular Nintendo. I used to like to play Toad just because he was a character that you could never play as, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could at least be Mario and Luigi, but Toad was just sort of this weird third character that's never really, you know, mentioned a ton. It's not a major focal point of the game, so I always thought that was neat. Plus, he had a blue cart, I think, in that game. Which, that's my favorite color, so that might have been part of the reason I played it too. Alright, looks like I've managed a recovery here. I don't remember who got second or who got first the last race. I think it was Yoshi. So I think I'm still 3 points behind him. Yeah, I'm still 3 points behind Yoshi, but that's okay. If I keep winning races, I can make that up. So here's the Ghost House levels. You know, I just realized one main thing about Mario Kart 64 that's different than Super Mario Kart on Super Nintendo. And I think they kind of did this from here on out is in Mario Kart 64 there were like 16 distinct different tracks based around either like different worlds in the Mario universe or like different characters. In this game, they've got different types of boards, but they actually do the same board, like the same skin, 3 or 4 different times. So like this is the Ghost House boards, but this is Ghost House number 1. There's actually like 3 or 4 of these throughout the game. Now they're all different, but I guess there's really only probably like 5 or 6 unique looking tracks in this game, and they just recycle them. Whereas in Mario Kart 64, I think they did have 16 distinct different tracks. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I kind of remember every board being totally unique and different and based on a different character. For example, there was like a Toad Turnpike where there were cars, and there was like a princess one that had featured the castle in the background, and like a Donkey Kong Country one or something like that. Alright, so we're looking pretty good right now. Pulled even with Yoshi. Now we just got to finish ahead of him with more points in the next 2 races. Here are some of my favorite skins in this game, the Bowser's Castle ones. That was also another one of my favorite boards in Mario Kart 64. There was like one Bowser's Castle, and I remember it having a bunch of 90-degree turns, and maybe like Bowser's statue would blow fire or something whenever you rode by it, something like that. Says, yeah, that sounds right to me. Yeah, I think so. It's been a while since I played, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. And the Rainbow Road in that game, I remember, I was somewhat disappointed in it. It was still cool, but it was like, it had walls up, so you couldn't fall off everywhere, and I thought that was kind of a bummer. But, while I'm thinking about it, Alan, let me ask you a question. I'm considering trying to actually connect my Super Nintendo or my Nintendo 64 up to the Stream Machine to see if they'll work properly, so I can actually play a bunch of different games that I'd never be able to get on Virtual Console. And I was actually considering doing a complete run-through of GoldenEye, 007 GoldenEye, and doing every board on 00 Agent level, which is like super, super hard to do. But I remember like putting in a ton of time to work on that when I was in high school. So is that something that you remember playing or that you would be interested in seeing? Because, you know, I want to play fun games, but at the same time, I always have more fun when other people are interested in the games. So did you ever play GoldenEye? And if so, would that be something you would like to see maybe me play at some point? Selfishly, yes, that would be awesome. Okay, sweet. Dude, I love GoldenEye. Excellent. So real quick, let me ask you a question, because that was a game that I played a ton of when I was in high school. Like, a ton. Did you, did you ever beat every board on 00 Agent, like even the 2 secret boards? I think I only did that like one time. But do you remember any boards that gave you trouble? And then secondly, Did you do any of the speed achievements? Like, there were certain speed achievements you can do on certain boards to get some of the cheats, and they were like crazy hard. And I spent a bunch of time doing those. I was actually thinking about doing a stream where I'd do the second board. You have to beat it in like 2 minutes or something like that to get invincibility. So, just as a heads up, did you do any of those speed achievements? And just kind of general memories of the game. The only thing I'm scared of about if I stream GoldenEye is that the truth of the matter is if I played every board on 00 Agent, I would fail so many missions and die so many times. Like, especially later on in the game, like, I distinctly remember having to try certain boards like 20, 25 times or something before I could beat them. Some of them were that difficult. See if I can do the trick here. Oh, he hit his own egg. I don't even feel bad for him. Alright, here, let's do the super jump. Here we go. Yeah. Let's see. I don't remember completing the speed achievements. I think most of my time was spent owning my friends in multiplayer. Heck yeah, man. I think that might have been the first multiplayer shooter I ever played, and I had so much fun. I remember if you played Odd Job, you could hide in the boxes. Yeah, me and my friends, and like when I would play with my brother and my sister sometimes, we actually banned Odd Job because he was small and you couldn't kill him. I remember the first time I ever played the game, I came home late, I want to say, from like a band competition when I was in high school or something. And I rented it, and my brother and I stayed up and played multiplayer. And the first time I got a grenade and like threw it at him and it blew up and killed him, I remember like we just laughed so hysterically. It was kind of like the game we'd always wanted to play. We just never had it. Cool. So, Alan, since I've beaten pretty much all the Mario Karts that I want to beat, I think I'm actually going to keep streaming though. I'm going to play video games for a little bit longer tonight. I would love for you to hang out if you want to, but no pressure. Real quick, I think what I'm going to do is I told you last time that I downloaded Kirby's Dream Course, and I've never played it before. So what I might do here is I might stop the stream and then start it again to start a different stream so it'll archive differently. And I think I'm going to play some Kirby's Dream Course for the first time and just kind of try to learn the game. So feel free to hang out and watch some of that and give me some pointers if you have time to hang out some more. But yeah, I'm going to keep on going. So I'm just going to cut the stream off for 1 second and then reload it.